Well, hi, folks. Welcome to another edition of the Too Old for Bowl show. I'm your host, Johnny. Today I'm going to talk about how I deal with robocalls. In the past few weeks, I've been getting a lot of robocalls about personal security devices and home alarm systems. I know it's usually a robocall when it's an area code from the city and state we used to live in. Now, depending on the mood I'm in, I sometimes will answer the call and have some fun with the caller. Now, I'm certainly not recommending that you do this. This is just something that an old guy does to have a little bit of fun. If it's about personal security devices, they will ask you your age. I tell them I'm 85, and they reply, "Oh, great. You qualify for one of our units." Then they usually ask, "Are you familiar with a home security device?" I reply, "Oh, yeah. I think my sixth or seventh wife had one." Sometimes they will just hang up, and other times they'll say, "Wow," and continue with their spiel. Then they ask me, "Do you think you need one?" And I reply, "Nah, I got a young wife and she takes real good care of me. She's 24 years old and used to be a nurse." That usually gets a click. Now, if it's about home alarm systems, they will ask you if you're familiar with a home alarm system. I say, "Yep," and they usually ask if I'm interested in getting one. I say, "Nah, I'm 94 years old and I have a young wife. She's 24 years old and has a black belt in karate." That almost always gets a click. Now, sometimes when a caller asks my age, I tell them I'm 17, and that always gets a click. At times when they ask for John, I'll say, "Oh, you want my father?" When they ask if they can talk to him, I'll say, "Ah, he's in the tavern getting drunk." That always gets a click. Should I waste my time answering these calls? I don't know. Maybe not. But sometimes it does break up the day for this old timer. Now, for the record, I try not to make a habit of answering anonymous phone calls. One thing I have learned, though, is that when the caller asks if this is John, never to answer yes. You never know what you could be saying yes to. Now, when I call someone other than a friend who knows me, I always announce myself. In my humble opinion, that's just being courteous. Now, speaking of announcing oneself, I did have one thing that really irritated me. When I had my company and called anyone, I would say, "Good morning, this is John from Dinosail. May I please speak with Mr. Smith, or may I have your sales department?" Once in a while, in a smart-ass tone, the reply would be, "Hello, John from Dinosail." Now, I don't know why, but boy, that always irked the hell out of me. Well, that's all I have for today, folks. Thanks for watching, and please visit the Too Old for Bowl website. After this video, there will be a link to the Too Old for Bowl website where you can view my other videos. There's also a link to a page where you can leave your comments. I'd really like to hear your comments on my videos and my stories. Your comments are always anonymous. I will never know who the sender is, so don't be bashful. See you on down the trail.